statement or just go to questions?
You can give a statement.
Okay.
Well, we're certainly disappointed with the outcome of the game, but biggest concern right now is Andre Miller, and we're thinking about him and hoping for the best that he will be healthy, and we don't have a status on him right now. So we've got people there with him, and he's got some family there with him. So I'm glad to know that we've got people surrounding him. You know, what a football game. Syracuse, just credit to them. They got a great football team. It's one of the top scoring offenses in the country, one of the top scoring defenses in the country. And in the first half, really, I thought our guys were battling and had ourselves positioned to at least have a chance. And the bottom line is, in the second half, they just made way too many plays, way more than us. And we had some chances in the first half. Certainly, the dropped interception was disappointing. The touchdowns are hard to get, especially against them. And it would have been nice to get one there. And then right before half, when we intercepted that pass, it felt like we just maybe peeled back and got in the way of some guys chasing. Maybe we had a chance to get one in there as well. And that certainly would have made it a lot different football game at halftime. But that's not why we lost. The reason is in the second half they made more plays, and they played like a team that's a top scoring offense and defense in the country. They sure looked like it. And so credit to Dino and his staff and his team, and you know, we're going to try to come back from it and play better in 2 weeks. We're going to need to. We got another really good football team coming in.
Sal, go ahead.
Coach, can you talk about Andre? It's more than football at times here. Can you talk about the Syracuse players and coaches coming on the field too? Kind of how you guys are kind of united during that moment, so to speak.
Well, the health and welfare of our players is the most important thing in our program. And I know Dino feels the same way. I think there's just a respect in competition for the guys that are out there on the field that are playing the game, and there's enough respect the way that game was going. Certainly, you know, we were battling and slugging it out, and I think our guys, were anxious to get out there and just be around. Be around Andre. Matt, glass of water. Feel out around Andre and. Put their hands on him and tell him they love him, and I think that the Syracuse players coming out there, I think it's just a respect for the game and for our guys, and we appreciated that for sure. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Coach, was Andre able to respond to the well wishes of the players?
He was. I was talking to him when he was out there. He had feeling, and it wasn't one of those deals where we felt like it was dire at the time, but certainly when there's an injury to the head or the neck, they're gonna take every precaution, as they should. But I don't know beyond that really where it's at this point. So we'll hopefully be getting an update pretty soon.
Coach, on the game, you had a 10-3 lead at the half. Was it disappointing not to be able to convert that drive when you went 19 plays late in the second quarter?
It was. I think that's that really is kind of our MO, and always has been, is to those long sustained drives, lots of time rolling off the clock, and to punch it in for 7 is a big difference than having to kick a field goal. And I'm glad we got points there, but we really needed to get 7, especially against these guys. We needed to finish touchdown drives, and as I said, in the second half, we just didn't do that. We got ourselves in long yardage situations on second down, and even on third down. We didn't have a bunch of those third downs where we're looking at a 2-down opportunity where we run the ball or hit a short pass, and they're able to convert on fourth down. We made a punt way too many times.
Coach, just in the second half, you stopped their 4th and 1 on the first Syracuse drive, but then you have a 3 and out, and then they score in 4 plays. It seemed like they took the momentum at that point.
Well, you only lose momentum if you stop believing, and I don't think our guys stopped believing. But what we needed to do on the 4th down stop was turn it into points. And the 3 and out, they punted to us. We need to turn it into points. And when you keep giving it back to them, a team like that, they get it enough times, they're going to do something with it. And what we did better in the first half was hold the ball hostage. I mean, we didn't give it to them. So the time of possession at the end of the first half, I think we had 23 minutes. We had 10 minutes in the second half. So it was a complete reversal. And so not being able to knock them out of there and create some seams for our backs inside. And then as we got the ball to the perimeter, we didn't do a great job of getting him started, getting some blocks on the perimeter, sustaining those blocks on the perimeter. And we had some passes open that we didn't hit. And unfortunately, we threw it to them a couple of times. One, he was going down. It was a second down situation. And, at that point in the game, we're behind. We're going to go for it on fourth down from, probably 7 or 8 yards. And so we could just run the ball there and get third. It's okay to go to third down. He's just trying to make a play. He made a couple of little plays like that last week against UTSA, where he's kind of in the grips of somebody. He was able to make a really good throw. And he saw a guy coming across the middle. I think it was Olawole. And just obviously as he's going to the ground, he didn't have enough to get on it. They were able to pick it. And then down there at the end, we had Noah Short. He's trying to hit Noah. Noah's kind of running a post route in there. There's 2 high safeties. And we need to sit that route down or throw it behind him. That safety just came across, and I don't think he even knew he was there. So, it's just a lot of things. But give credit to those coaches for Syracuse. And Rocky Long's such a tremendous defensive coordinator. His defenses always play hard. They always make plays. And I've faced him before at other schools and here at Army. His defense in the San Diego State game down at the Armed Forces Bowl. I mean, they are a bugger to have to play against, and they just made more plays than we did.
They were able to take Isaiah, contain Isaiah today. Was that something that they did in your scheme today?
So we tried to target him a few times. We tried to hit him on a slant route over the middle, and one got tipped, and we tried to hit him there late and threw it way behind him, and we had the one down on our sideline. It was the only one he caught. We had him open in the third quarter going the other direction, and he was on top of their corner, and we just overthrew it. You got to give a little more air there and let Isaiah go do his thing. I think he's got a better chance to get it than most guys when it's a 50. I don't think it's a 50-50 ball with him. I think he's got a better chance to get it than the DB if we kind of put it in his area code. But we didn't do that. We didn't hit those throws like we needed to. But Bryson played hard. He played hard. He played tough. He took a beating. So, that's something that when you got a guy like Isaiah, we want to try to get it to him, and we did. We just weren't able to complete them.
2 quick ones. Bryson, when he had that run, he physically knocked down a defender and had to come out. Was that just getting banged up and stuff, or? So,
I thought it was because the helmet came off.
Oh, okay.
But they actually kind of pulled it off at the end, and he was able to pull it back on. So he would have been okay to stay in the game, but he had a bloody nose.
Okay.
So he had blood kind of running down,
Yeah.
and the official made him go out because of the injury. So with an injury, you can't call timeout and get him back in. He's got to sit one play, which when we put Coleman in, and then he went right back in. We converted, and he went back in. But he's a tough kid.
Yeah, and Ijon went off what looked like an ankle injury.
Yeah, I don't know the status of that. He was hobbling pretty good at the end of the game. So we'll get a look and see what it is.
It looked from the replays like their player might have twisted his ankle late. Did you see anything?
I didn't.
Okay.
So it's football. That stuff happens.
And I know I was relieved when you said Dre had feeling
Mm-hmm.
in his extremities. Could he move all of them? Do you know?
I'm not going to talk about the details of that. I was just relieved to know that he had some feeling in his extremities, so that was positive.
Hi, Coach. Did you feel like you executed your game plan in the first half? The second part of that is it part of what you do to go on fourth down so often, even deep in your own territory?
So in terms of the execution, I felt like certainly in the first half we did a good job of executing the things that we had planned to do. We were able to drive the ball down on a long drive and score a touchdown. We had another long drive, unfortunately had to kick a field goal. We had an opportunity to pick a pass off for a touchdown, but we were getting them off the field. They had 3 points in the first half. So that's a high-powered offense. as I said, I think they're number 4 or 5 in the country in both scoring offense and scoring defense. That's impressive to be able to do that in the same team. I don't know if there's anybody else in the country that's in that top 5 with them. So I thought our defense did a really nice job in the first half. In terms of going forward on 4th down, it's kind of what we have to do. We've got to get ourselves in manageable 4th down positions. We don't want to be going for it on 4th and 8, but we went for it on 4th and 8 in the 4th quarter, because at that point there's 11 minutes on the clock and we're down 2 scores. So we got to get 2 scores. And if you punt, they're going to go take a bunch of time off the clock. They're going to run the ball and bleed the clock. And if they're able to turn first downs, it's going to limit the number of opportunities we got. If we can make the first down, great, we get to keep going. It's still a chance to cut it to a 1-score game. If we don't, which we didn't, if we could hold them to 3, then it's a 12-point game. It was a 9-point game at that point. We still had to score 2 touchdowns, or a touchdown and a field goal. We had 2 scores. So it goes to 12 points if they kick a field goal. It's still 2 scores. Now it's 2 touchdowns, but it's still 2 scores. So if you start thinking about how many times are we going to get the ball back in this game, and what do we need to do with it, we knew we were going to need to get 2 more times and score a touchdown and a field goal to have a chance to take the lead. And it's worth the risk, in my opinion, to do that. Now, we didn't hold them. Their quarterback scrambled and ran the ball in for a touchdown, but then they went for 1. So it was a 16-point game. So even with all those twists and turns, it was still a 2-score game. So touchdown, 2-point conversion, touchdown, 2-point conversion, and we tie it up. So it's a risk that we have to take. I know a lot of people, I'm sure the announcers are probably up there, I can't believe Monken's not punting this ball, but I'm trying to win the game. Their job is to critique, but that's a formula for us, and we've used that formula since 2016 when we started really. I've completely bought into analytics and the math of how it can help you win a football game, and it's helped us win a lot of football games. So that's the first time we haven't made it on 4th down this year. So it's not, we're not flying by the seat of our pants. Most of them are pretty calculated.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach.